Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 395. Zhu Tianhou has returned. The tyrannical heavenly king body represents the pinnacle of strength and ki. It was born to fight. Your prestige power spell has no effect on him at all. Xiaoao's voice was heavy as it told everything it knew. Its lips trembled slightly. It was still hard to imagine how this legendary physique could appear. After hearing Xiaoao's words, Xiaoyan raised his brows. He had never thought that this physique would be so strong. Shang knew. He mumbled to himself and deeply engraved this name in his heart. A physique that even Xiaoao feared. Just how strong was it? Shaking his head, Xiaoyan withdrew his mind from his body and looked at Shang Hao once again. He had heard of this guy's name from Elder Wu and the others. He was a genius of Star Sky Academy, and it just so happened that he could get some useful information out of his mouth. How did the people of Shang clan enter the illusory spirit space? Xiaoyan opened his mouth once again and tried to persuade Shang Hao. Senior, you misunderstood me. The illusory spirit space was divided equally among the 4 academies. I am a student of the Star Sky Academy. I have no intention of offending you by coming here to cultivate. Shang Hao's heart tightened when he heard the sudden anger in the strange voice. These old monsters' tempers were really hard to understand. Star Sky Academy. Xiaoyan pretended to be deep in thought and replied, a few days ago, I saw a guy called Mu Yuyang who came from the Yunlo Academy. That time, there seemed to be a total of 20 people who entered the academy. He has such strength, that really surprised me. Yunlo Academy. When Shang Hao heard these words, a trace of disdain flashed across his face. After that, he cupped his hands and said, the so-called Yunlo Academy is merely a mediocre academy in the star field. I have also heard of that Mu Yuyang. His strength is average. The reason why this academy is able to recruit 20 people, I think it's because there aren't any top students available. I want to pick a few from the ordinary students. Pausing for a moment, Shang Hao smiled complacently and said, although our Star Sky Academy only has 5 people in each trial, we have the potential to become the top students. We are far stronger than the Yunlo. No, the other 3 academies. 5 people. So, the so-called 4 academies competition is the competition between the 5 of you. Upon hearing Shang Hao's words, Xiaoyan sneered, but his voice didn't have the slightest fluctuation as he continued to ask. That's right. Shang Hao straightened his back and said seriously. Interesting. After making some random excuses, Xiaoyan quickly made up his mind. Since only 5 people could enter the Star Sky Academy at a time, then the one who heard Zuna was undoubtedly one of the 5 people. His target shrunk a lot in an instant. I can see that your bone structure is not bad. You and I can be considered fated. What do you have in your cultivation that you do not know? You can tell me. The next time you come in, I might be able to bestow you with an opportunity. The answer that he wanted was already in his hands. Xiaoyan suddenly had a trace of interest. The strength of this fellow was not bad. It would also bring some benefits to the 4 academies competition. Thank you, senior. Shang Hao's eyes lit up when he heard this, and he said with delight. Most of them were giants from the ancient times, and their strengths were shocking. So, being able to obtain the guidance would absolutely bring boundless benefits. I'm slow-witted. Although I've already reached the 7 Monarch Emperor, if I were to use my movement technique, Monarch skill, then my control over the other Monarch skill would be much weaker. Because of this, the elders of the academy have explained it many times, but I still can't understand it. I hope senior can give me some guidance. As he spoke, Shang Hao cupped his fists and said with a sincere expression. Knowing Shang Hao's weakness, Xiaoyan silently nodded and said in a deep voice, I already know what the problem is. If we meet again in the future, I can give you a chance. After saying that, under Xiaoyan's command, the blood eye in the sky poured down and turned into a sea of blood once again. Ah! Shang Hao was startled when he saw the blood eye turn into a sea of blood. He had yet to answer his question, how did it disappear? Deep in the black mist, Xiaoyan looked at Shang Hao, who was constantly calling for his senior. He let out a bitter laugh, knowing Shang Hao's weakness. He wouldn't care about what happened next, and the existence of the blood eye didn't respond to Shang Hao at all. Qi. Under the teleportation of the blood eye, Xiaoyan appeared outside of the Wu Yin meridian. The black fog filled the sky. If it wasn't for the monic flame in Xiaoyan's eyes, he wouldn't have been able to sense the surrounding environment. After merging with refining monic Hai Tianyan, there was a trace of coolness flowing in his eyes, as if he could see more clearly. After the communication with the blood origin seed was cut off, Xiaoyan quickly looked around. He didn't find any trace of anyone. Immediately, he took out the dragon's soul bone. The origin key poured into it, and in an instant, an even deeper darkness gushed out from it. In an instant, a spatial crack appeared in front of Xiaoyan. Without any hesitation, Xiaoyan entered the spatial crack. His body was instantly devoured, and in the next moment, the spatial crack had already disappeared. 3 days later, if we can't find Xiaoyan, Zhu Tianhou, Su Qingwu, Yuan Tianmu, and the two of you will replace them. In Realm in Valley, Su Jiang's face was gloomy, and his eyes were bloodshot. He looked extremely haggard, but his eyes were fixed on the man and woman in front of him, and he spoke in a deep voice. Elder Su, Qingwu and I are only peak of Monic King warriors. Even if we use our full strength, we can only fight 2 or 3 Monic Emperor warriors. We can't meet the minimum requirement for this competition. After listening to Su Jiang's words, Yuan Tianmu spoke with a bitter voice. If it was before, he would have been extremely excited. He would have fought even if it meant risking his life. However, after knowing about the 5 participants of the Star Sky Academy, this feeling had vanished completely. I know. Su Jiang's face was cold and indifferent, and his voice was emotionless. Besides you, who else has the right to replace you? Tell me, I'll go and find him. This. Yuan Tianmu and Su Qingwu looked at each other and saw the helplessness in each other's eyes. Clenching his teeth, Yuan Tianmu was about to agree when a thunderous voice resounded in everyone's ears. Xiaoyi, didn't you want my life? Come and get it. In the next moment, a flame had already rushed over from the entrance of Realm in Valley. A faint scorch mark appeared wherever it passed. Zhu Tianhou. Su Jiang instantly reacted. When he sensed the strength that was revealed, he raised his brows and appeared in midair in a flash. Stop! With a gentle shout, the flame had no choice but to stop in front of Su Jiang. When the flame dissipated, a human figure was revealed. It was Zhu Tianhou. You have become a Monic Emperor. Seeing the flaming wings flapping behind Zhu Tianhou's back, Su Jiang said with an expressionless face. Where's Xiaoyi? Ask him to come out. Zhu Tianhou didn't have a good impression of Su Jiang when he saw him. He said in a cold voice. No wonder. It turns out that he gave you the motivation to cultivate. It seems like you have completely mastered the sacred spirit fire body. Su Jiang chuckled when he heard what Zhu Tianhou said. He didn't care about Zhu Tianhou's attitude at all. Unfortunately, he was seriously injured when he returned to the Xiao clan to devour the Monic flame. I'm afraid he won't be able to come back anytime soon. Injured? Zhu Tianhou sneered when he heard that. You can't even wait for such a short period of time. Serves you right. Su Jiang only smiled and did not explain anything. Just as he was about to speak, an elder rushed over from the entrance of Realm in Valley with great effort. When he saw Su Jiang, he hurriedly cupped his fists and said, Elder Su, he has made his way here. I have no time to stop him. It's fine. Su Jiang waved his hand. He didn't care at all. After that, he looked at Zhu Tianhou and said in a deep voice, You came back just in time. For Academy's competition, Yunlo Academy needs you. Zhu Tianhou raised his eyebrows and looked around the Realm in Valley. Then, he looked at Su Jiang and said in a cold voice, Where is Xiaoyan? Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.